Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic Volume 2, Episode 5, in which we will be tackling something called a triplace today. It is a puzzle type that I know nothing about, so in order to figure it out, we're going to have to take a look at the rules. In a triplace puzzle, we will divide the grid into regions of 3 orthogonally connected cells. Orthogonally connected just means connected by edge, not diagonally. So you can see in the answer, we've got these regions that are all 3 cells big, and the dark green lines separate them. A clue on the bottom of a blocked cell represents the number of rectangular regions in the vertical line below it. A clue on the right side of a blocked cell represents the number of rectangular regions in the horizontal line to its right. So that is saying that these numbers, these diagonal lines tell us whether the number is referring to the column or to, in this case, the row. That's just to differentiate in a case like this cell where there is both a column and a row leading away from it. Clues cannot see regions through other blocked cells. So, for example, this 0 is telling us there are no rectangular regions below this, and you can see that this one is an L, so it doesn't count. This one's an L, so it doesn't count. And then it gets blocked by this other clue before it can see this horizontal region. But this one clue can see it, so that counts one rectangular region. Those are the rules of triplace, and it's time to solve a puzzle. Today's triplace puzzle is from Freddie Hand. Okay, trying to think about what we can look at first. As I said, I've never looked at one of these puzzles before, so I'm not entirely sure what the tropes are or anything like that. But the rule of thumb that I work with is that in most puzzle genres like these, big numbers and little numbers are helpful. Not right now seeing how the zeros will be helpful to us quite yet, but this 6 does look interesting because counting, there are 6 cells, exactly 6 cells below it, and we know that it needs to see 6 rectangular regions. And so that tells me that each of these cells is in a different rectangle, and they're all horizontal ones. And that is going to give me, since this is blocked on the left side, that's going to give me 1. So I'll do that, and I'm going to follow the example and color that in green so that we can differentiate whether a cell is part of an L or a rectangle. And in fact, I'm going to mark these zeros as definitely not rectangles, which actually is more helpful than I thought it was going to be, because immediately now I see these 3. We've got 3 cells already taken up by this first shape. So we've got to see 2 more rectangular regions, and we only have 2 cells to do that in. So this is one of them, and in fact we know how that looks now. And this is the other one. So we don't know whether it goes up or down, but it definitely is blocked off from this yellow regardless. We can also mark all of these as rectangles, which in combination with this yellow is going to show us the disposition of 2 of them, like so. So that's good. Now this cell right here I see is a little dead end. It can't be green because it would have to have 3 greens, so it's yellow. It comes out here and then must go up from there. So this is going to be one of the L's. This now has to be a rectangle because it can't bend, so it's those 3. This one now has to bend, like so. This has to bend. Okay, and now this column needs 3 rectangles. It's got 1, and it's got 2 cells left, so these are both rectangles. They're not in the same one. And because they're rectangles, we know how they work, like so. This 3, I'm just going around the grid now. This 3 is already satisfied by these 3 cells. So none of the rest of these are rectangles. This little dead end can't be green because it has nowhere to go, so it's yellow, but we don't know if it turns up or down at this point. These 3-cell rectangles, still don't know exactly how they're placed, but they can only go at most 1 cell right, each of them. So they all have to go at least 1 to the left. Let's see. Now I think I have satisfied all of, or at least pencil marked all of the number clues now. So it's just a matter of figuring out what, how we fill in the rest of the grid with shapes without leaving any gaps, I think. So this, I guess we don't know if this is a single domino. Okay, so supposing this wasn't a single domino like that, supposing there was a wall here, then this one would have to be this L, and it would strand single cell right there. So these are connected and need to do an L to the left one way or the other. If it's the top one, then we stranded a cell right there. So it does go like this. So now this needs to be a vertical rectangle. That's the only way that's going to work. And this one, now we know, goes all the way to the right, like that. This yellow now has to form an L going to the left. And so this becomes a 3-cell horizontal rectangle. This one needs to bend up to become an L. This one will need to bend down to become an L. This is a dead end, so it needs to stretch horizontally for 3. This now needs to be yellow because it can't find enough cells to be green, so it comes up here, like so. And then we're left with a horizontal domino, and I think we are tromino, and we have filled in all the cells, so let's check our work. And that is how you solve a triplace.